Southeast Asian region, while Team North it's an Indian team. If I'm correct, I see Joko TM, the guy's famous for playing his Reinhardt, is really aggressive Reinhardt, and of course we have Overlord, Vilo, McCrabe. These are players that plays a lot of Indian parks. I see them in Indian parks very, very often. So these are key figures in the Indian Overwatch community scene. So hey, Dax, you there?
Yeah,
all right.
I was like listening to you. So Indian team North really like how well did they do actually? Are they prominent?
I think they're one of the lesser experienced team. I think they just made a team for this competition, but I'm not very sure. We probably have to check with like I don't know the admins or people who might know of this. But whatever the case, I think it's going to be. I think I'm going to put my money on NGV because NGV has been here for a while. So
Interesting to know NGV actually won the Chennai Sports Tournament. It was quite recent as well, coming in from the lower bracket. So that's really cool of them. Mixed team, as John did say, from all around Southeast Asia. And John, first assault map. 2 CP is alive.
That's true. Okay, I hope to see at least second point. I don't want to see a full hole in first point. And I'm saying there is a possibility because, like I said, NGV is a very strong team. This Orisa Roadhog comp, they have been playing this for so long. I'm pretty sure you've seen it in Chennai Esports as well. Treaty and Dew playing the Orisa Roadhog comp, and you know firsthand how strong it is. So I'm a bit worried that we're gonna see a full hole. But I think Joker is gonna give them a hard time. Let's go aggressive Rhines for the win.
To see McCreep try his best with the Hanzo. Scatter Arrow is really good at bursting barriers and bursting tanks down. So if you know they're a tank heavy comp, you go Hanzo instead of the Widowmaker, and looks like McCreep is going to be using the wall pass. Oh! Script gets headshotted right there. Really good play.
Beautiful execution, rotate straight to the point, force the Orisa and the Roadhog, the slower comp, to rotate accordingly. And I like the punishment that they're doing. August Smite goes down to a Moira. Moira just got off.
Dude, the trades are being given left and right here. In the meantime, though, not still on the point. Oh, there's a charge on to Treaty. So Laszlo now being hit up by the Zenyatta of Vips. Vips is the only one left, as well as K-Cot. These guys need to back off. Vips needs to get himself taken out because he's way too slow to come back onto the set point. And as you said, John, Nos now with the capture of the first point, no full hold here.
Really kudos to Team North there with the lightning fast rotation from Doll to point, and we do see the same rotation right now. Straight on the point, Joker playing so aggressively, straight charge. Guys, gets a charge on the Diva. She's gonna
has 100 energy as well, really doing so much damage with the Diva. But K-Cot switched to the McCree, good pick there on McCree, and those headshots are coming in the way of Team NGV. There's a Transcendence as well, but the Transcendence actually catches the charge. Good play there from Vips to protect his team. And yes, looks like NGV will be able to beat them back and hold the second point.
I like it, Team North. This is how you play a Reinhardt. Straight speed boost, straight to point, swing that hammer, create immense amount of space before actually playing, before actually snapping up that hammer. I don't like Reinhardt that just hold hammer all day because that's not creating space at all. Then all you are is just a walking shield. That's great play from Joker. I like that they are that in second point, and it's awesome, right? They're rewarded for it. I mean, by having 6 minutes left on second point.
Yeah, but that push was actually beaten back. K-Cot with a really clutch switch there to the McCree, shutting down McCree, who did go to Tracer after getting that first Hanzo pick. So now we do see that, actually it's Nos up there onto the third floor with Viller on the Soldier 76. So this is actually good positioning them. In the meantime, though, NGV is trying to contest, and already NOS with the first tick. There's a Gravity Surge as well, but K-Cot with a shutdown on his McCree. Once again, Deadeye is there, and looks like NGV will be able to hold this after a flurry of ultimates.
I mean, the only thing they need to hold, the only outs that they actually used was Valkyrie. I mean, that's quite a significant number of outs, but Valkyrie, High Noon, and Pulse Bomb, these are ultimates that can be charged really, really fast. So the outs that actually matter, like Transcendence, they are still building it up, and they're going to have it for the next fight. And those are the truly vital outs. And they will have Primal Rage as well, which is sure to, screw up those kind of dives or those kind of strong engages that Team North is definitely going to have.
Yeah, very good point right there. And meantime, though, Nos is once again doing the same tactic, but this time they're actually just people. McCree gets to take down K-Cot this time, but there is the Resurrect. So this is a 6v5 in favor of NGV. Soundbar now cancelled out by Jewel. Overload a little too late with that Soundbar, and once again, Nos will be beaten back by NGV as Dave and Viller are the only ones left. here.
Boss is indeed, I mean, losing the fights, but even though they are losing the fight, look at that, the point is already 60%. They already have one tick. And but one of the reasons they were doing so well is because NGV is like wondering how to respond to them, because Nos is just going straight on high ground and rotating straight to point, and rotations are so fast that's making NGV needs to make the right decision, and they're not always reacting as fast as they should be reacting.
I think this is actually a matter of Team NGV's identity, more tactical, rather like they look more tactical honestly than the rest of the team, so their reaction is a little bit slower on the trigger. They actually take a while to get back onto the point. Now Duel is there with Treaty going for Viller, but now the Winston actually jumping in from Red Squad and overload with the killer onto Script 1. That's what Nos actually needs. Coalescence also from Dave from the high ground takeout once again with the Deadeye. Spots out only the Baby Diva, but it's enough. NGV able to hold it once again.
I feel like the NGV is only using the minimal amount of outs to win, right? So as you pointed out just now, that I mean, they use 2-3 outs, so it doesn't really matter. These are the cheaper outs. The only expensive out, the only valuable out that they have expanded so far was Transcendence. So Primal Rage and Diva Bomb, they kept the Primal Rage and Diva Bomb, and of course Godspite now has Valkyrie once again.
Yeah, so look at that, guys. The tanks actually haven't used their ultimates yet here on the side of NGV. So honestly, that means the engagement hasn't gone to the point where you need to delay. So that's really good for NGV's decisive maneuvers after the short delay. So it's okay that they actually gave up that one tick. It might bite them in the butt later, but beyond that, so far, it's going good for the defense. Now dive coming up there from Joker straight on to Vips, but she gets back in front of Spawn Duel now with the killer onto McCreep. Keiko trying his best to peel off the Winston away from the Zenyatta, and yes, NGV getting 4 kills in a row. Pulse Bomb has been used by Viller, but he just steps on it instead as a landmine to take himself out.
So the amount of ultimates that NGV used in that fight actually showed how strong how strong the engage was from Team North, because they really felt no pressure from them. So they were like, I don't think we need to use Valkyrie. I don't think we need to use. No wait, did they use Hydron?
I don't think so. Keikot was there Keikot was there to take shots at Joker, who was diving on to Vips. So now Script 1
0 ultimates. Yep.
Dude, check out Script 1 playing the sneaky peeky here from the other side. But in the meantime, Laszlo does have the ultimate self-destruct as well. Joker up popping the Prime Rage. Once again, Keikot ready with the Deadeye. Will get any kills. Doesn't get it this time. Joker with a really good boop, but Script 1 was playing backline right there. Getting a kill Ultima Creep. We do see a peel coming in from Nos, but Script 1 is already doing his job, wasting so much time here for NGV. Laszlo finally takes him down. That's a really good trade though for NGV.
And it's awesome how they're always putting someone on Mech Creep. I think they sort of realize that Mech Creep is one of the vital, mechanically gifted player on the side of Team Nos, and they're always putting someone on Mech Creep. So previous fight when Mech Creep was playing on the high ground, they both of the tanks of MGV dive Mech Creep. Mech Creep goes down, and then even in now they dive Mech Creep, they jump down, and then Tracer was on, Scripty was on Mech Creep duty, right? So they're always on the 76 no matter what happens.
Yeah, so they make so much space there for Keikot to do some work. And now there is a Valkyrie popped up by Godsmite. He wants to push in the corner, and there is the Winston dueling. Oh, the flashbang connects onto Joker. He doesn't have the primary range this time, but McCreep given the space to finally get attacked by the Transcendence happens pop from both teams, with Dave with the coalescence onto the Tracer. Duel now is the next target. The attack device doesn't get anyone. Self-destruct is on the point. Godsmite gets the free res onto Script 1, but this is what we were talking about. NOS is actually able to get back onto the point, but NGV this time finally able to connect straight onto the point, jump onto it, and looks like here have the advantage here. Laszlo has been demech. He's being zapped up, gets taken down, as well as Willer, and yes, NGV will be holding.
That was actually a pretty decent engage by Team Nos. As you can see, the Transcendence and the Valkyrie were both needed to hold the point, and of course, Deuce felt the need to use the Primal Rage as well. So for the next fight, both teams are not going to have any ultimates. Maybe a High Noon, maybe a Diva Bomb, but both are reasonably less, influential out, I would say, arguably, than a Transcendent. So this is probably Team Nos' chance here to win. It's not going to be easy, but they do have a chance here if they want to dive the Macri or the Zen.
This honestly depends on the barrier placement as well as Joker, and yes, he is just going to go with for the McCree instead, so the self-destruct might be free, but oh, Godsmite already gets taken down. We do see Laszlo popped up, Miller already shot up by the McCree once again, so Keikot is so MVP right now, but now Joker chasing him down, and finally, there's a foothold here for Team Nos right now. And Godsmite actually with the Resurrect Duel trying to shock up Dave on the Moira. Overtime just taking down Joker now just Cryo Rage up, really angry about the fact that they're not able to get the point right here. And look at Vips, look at Treaty getting those kills. But Miller finally with the pulse bomb onto K-Cut. But those Zenyatas are doing work, and NGV is gonna hold this with Viller getting taken down by Vips in that last moment.
Yeah, so we do see, 61.4%, so a pretty decent hold. That's definitely more than a third. So there's going to be a little bit of pressure on NGV to replicate or even better that kind of record. So they can't just go for like the draw, right? If they don't cap the second point, then they're definitely going to lose. But is that enough? Like the question is it enough, or is Team North going to hold them to? Full hold them. I don't know. I don't believe so, because NGV is a really strong. They have a very strong dive com as well. But okay, here's my guess. All right, I think they're gonna play 4 tanks, 4 tanks, because I think that's their common habit. They play 3 tanks, 1 video, or 4 tanks, and they just speed most in the point, just like what a Team North did.
Maybe that's actually a very valid strategy. Might I suggest maybe a Mei on point A? That'll be very interesting to see from NGV. Very off meta pick. Maybe might become better. Is that a Bridget here for NGV?
Oh, they might be going for the three support composition. I'm not very sure. So NA teams have been screaming the last few days. I mean, if you see NA screams, then you realize that the contenders team, not the contenders team, but the teams that are practicing for open division, they have been screaming 3 supports where you play 3 tanks, Reinhardt, Xayah, Roadhog, and then you also run 3 supports where you run Brigitte, Lucio, Moira, and it was kind of strong. It was arguably one of the strongest comp in their experimentation. But I think they're not going to run. They're going to go for a more typical comp instead. But not typical, because they're still running a Genji for defense. Genji.
Let's check out the defense instead. I think it's better to talk about defense in these situations. So classic Orisa, Roadhog with the Junkrat and the McCree. So very slow lineup here for NOS. If actually NGV can get a speed boost pass straight onto the point, they might be able to easily capture the first point here on Hanamura.
I've never seen this comp coming from NGV before, but first time for everything. K-Cod with the 76, he will want to get high ground, or at least rotate fast enough to flank NGV.
Ooh. Filler actually spotted out immediately by NGV. Good comms there. K-Cut with the perfect Helix Rocket, and now Godsmite with the amped up speed boost to try to go for the point. Dave already falling to script 1. Really good flank there from the Tracer, and NGV just running rampant here on Hanamura. The bell will ring here for NGV for the first tick, and will we see the other 2 ticks come in the way of the blue team? Looks like it is going to be a really easy capture here for Team NGV.
If you drop your Junkrat, that's it, your comp breaks down. If you drop your McCree, of course it's bad, but it's not as bad as dropping the Junkrat, because Junkrat is the main source of damage, especially against another shield comp. So that pick was vital for NGV to secure the fight, and secure the fight they did.
And if I may, Viller might have not had the concussive mind ready for the boop. And now Viller is the first target. Skirpo really takes him down. Really good focus fire there so far from NGV. But Joker in the backline taking down Vips. Skirp with a pulse bomb onto the Mercy of NOS. And looks like NGV is keeping up their contest here on the point. Laszlo, Baby Diva trying to do some damage on the treaty. Oh, he gets the remake. And looks like Oz is going to be able to keep this point in their favor. Viller has switched to the Mei this time.
So McCree just going all out crazy. I actually thought NGV was going to cap that one, just winning it out, but McCree with the triple kill, securing the point, of course, getting his high noon, and it's going to be really hard for NGV too, because they are going to get their Transcendence, and of course Valkyrie is something they can get really fast too. Wait, is that a Mei? Are they actually going to play a Mei for defense?
This is going to be very interesting here for NOS. The Mei is actually a better pick here now because of the piercing damage. Ice Wall, wait for that Ice Wall. Waiting for that Ice Wall. Oh, he's not going to build it instead, because we do see NGV coming in from the side. Really questionable Ice Wall placement, honestly. He was trying to block out the 3rd floor, like trying to get a pick. Classic Mei strat, but it doesn't work out now. Duel charges in with the Earth Shatter available. Sacrificer has been used by K-Cut. There's such a sentence coming out from Zave, and as well as Vips. It looks like NGV with the advantage so far. Overload taking down Viller as well. The Earth Shatter was on point, and that should be the team right there as they finally falls. Lasso coming out. Graviton Surge though. Sucks in the neck, and yes, NGV will be taking it.
That was definitely a very major mistake there by Mei. I mean, not by Mei, but like how Mei work with McCree for the engage, right? I think what they want to do is, like what you mentioned, block out the exit and then get the high noon right down on these members of the team. But Reinhardt still had a 2000 HP shield. Of course he's going to raise his shield. Of course he's going to block your high noon. So definitely maybe a poor execution there of the Mei wall.
Yeah, I was actually keeping up on the maze, so he was just watching, waiting for someone to go into the third floor. And when he noticed that NGV moved to the second floor instead, it was too little, too late. So NGV taking Hanamura 2-1. And yeah, first game goes to their squad.
Well, the thing about well, I do like that they're playing aggressively. Like Joker, Team North is playing aggressively because that is their win condition. This is how Team North is going to win against Team NGV. Play aggressively, make NGV second guess all your game, make them your fight. Sorry, make them rotate to you. Take the initiative, and sometimes, right? Sometimes you can actually win a team that's more mechanical and more experienced than you. We see even in Overwatch League where Korean teams generally don't like control points. They don't like to play KOTH because it's just straight up brawl. There's no set play. The kind of rigid set play they're so used to that doesn't get abused in control. It's just a straight up brawl. And I think Team North can do something similar to that. Oh man.
Yeah, we're gonna see Kings Row again. I just didn't want to mention it for a bit. I was like, Kings Row is next. Gotta get mentally prepared for it. Whoa, looks like
Viola it's like no one saw the recall into my own bomb.
dude, I even called it out. It's like landmine right there.
Oh man.
Yeah, so
My friend, it's too bad, Viola.
It's okay, Viola. It
Everyone
was
says that,
tactical.
Yeah.
Tactical.
So it's gonna be King's Row, and hey, let me guess. A Reinhardt Zaya? Maybe.
Maybe a sniper. Maybe a fire. Maybe a Junkrat. I'm not so sure.
The only thing they can do to make me happy right now is one of them play Bridget. Sorry, yeah, it's pronounced Bridget. Yes, I see Twitch chat. Yeah,
Is
I
it
was
Bridget?
pronouncing it Bette. So I think
Isn't
it's
it
Bridget.
Brigitte like German? Like Brigitte.
I guess do we pronounce it as how it was intended, or do we pronounce it as
Brigitte.
Brigitte?
I don't think our Asian tongues can actually pronounce it properly.
Thanks for standing up for me on that one. But anyway, so yeah, we're gonna see like
no, dude,
yeah,
Calderon's gonna give us a lesson. Calderon's gonna give us a lesson, bro. Gita.
Nah, just bruh.
Yeah, we're not gonna be seeing Bridget here. So it seems like they are going to go for a more conventional support lineup like Lucio Mora, and of course Zen Mercy works as well for if you choose to play Orisa Roadhog. So no Bridget.
Yeah, we are gonna see who's gonna be on the defense first. NGV. So actually, for that Hanamura map, I'll be honest, I actually was confused a little by the names because NGV and NOS are both 3-letter names, and they both start with the letter N. It's like, which team? It's okay.
What does North stand for anyway? I mean, what does NGV stand for? I have no idea. I'm gonna
their logo is a heart with a nanny, so I wouldn't know. Maybe it's just random letters.
Yeah, one of those random things. Yeah. Random is the new cool.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Oh, okay. That's actually a very good move. That's
no wonder they play so aggressively, because if you go in 6-man aggressively, even if you don't win, at least all 6 dies. So I mean, you live together, you die together. Anyway, I do like that McCree is playing Reaper. No, okay, I thought I was gonna go for Reaper Ryan, and they were playing a Lucio. So I was gonna say, like the previous team who have learned from this, where you run a McCree, you run a Reaper and a Ryan, but you do run a Lucio.
But hey, at least we're gonna get a show that NGV and NOS both have Widowmakers right now. So it's gonna be a sniper fight. Of course, the Orisa Roadhog is there to protect NGV Sniper to do some damage. But in the meantime, NGV is set up on top. So NOS, very smart, just go straight on to the point, forcing Duel and Treaty to go down. Will this work out in the favor of NOS? Blastload is diving and trying to get some kills onto the 2 supports. Kick out already onto the other side. Not the good sideline though. Going only for Dave, but Treaty now with a kill onto the mech. But McCree is doing so much damage. Reaper, this is
their advantage. This is their strong point. NOS wants to rotate. NOS wants to play fast and hard and turn it into a brawl. So NGV can't use their arguably superior mechanics to win out the fight. And that was great. That was exactly what they needed to do. Rush to the point, keep your tanks alive, keep your Reaper alive, and sooner or later your Reinhardt and your Reaper and your Diva, you guys are gonna get coalescence. You guys are gonna have enough damage to beat the enemy at their own game.
I will always say it was actually NOS out thinking NGV. They just went through the hotel going into the point because they knew the Reaser Road Dog will take a while to set up. Really smart play there from NOS, but Treaty now was on the back foot, getting a kill there onto Biller. So the Tracer not given the opportunity to flank, and Coalescence coming out as well from Overload to force the push. Now Sound Barrier has been popped by Dave. Oh, there's a Transcendence though from Vips. So the support ultimates are being used left and right. Everyone is staying alive. Oh, there's the Earth Shatter now.
Oh my gosh!
Duel is dueling with everyone. Even the charge is there, treating with the Who Hug as well. And yes, NGV will hold this.
First, and that was actually a pretty good shadow by Joker. But when you shatter a raw and you charge a wrong, you forget that there's another Rider also looking for the same opportunity. So he's gonna let you charge his teammate, he's gonna let you charge his Roadhog, and then just shatter. Wow, that was nasty.
Yeah, really nasty right there. Just giving Laszlo a small opportunity, a small glimmer of hope. But no, you're not gonna get your mech. You're gonna die. You're gonna get even staggered.
They're just lacking remech. You can get more outcharge that way, and I don't think the enemy could have followed up in time.
I think it was a safer bet because NOS is a little closer, and they do have the Lucio. So if they actually coordinate Laszlo,
what fun and save? Go for high risk, high reward plays, guys.
okay. Listen to John. Always high risk. Play the Symmetra all the time. That's super risky. High reward as well. Script now with because of mine. That's not a very risky thing from the Junkrat. It's the most guaranteed form of damage instant. Riptire is available as well. That's not as risky as well. Super strong ultimate. But Creep now shattering the barrier. Oh, you do see a Southern Shock. Will this work out? Oh, it catches out the Valkyrie of Godsmite. Really good play there from Laszlo and McCreep.
So beautiful use of Coalescence keeping everyone alive, and of course that's exactly the style that NOS play, right? Aggression, then Coalescence to allow them to follow up. So they could probably get the next point, because I don't think Widowmaker and Zen is gonna make it back on time. I mean, they do have the trance, but they don't have a Lucio, so they're not gonna make it back on time. And I think they are gonna give up the point. Yes,
unless Duel goes in for a charge. No, they're actually gonna be able to do it because of Treaty. He did get the hook there onto Village, so no Dragon Blade potential coming out. So there is the Hulog to knock back and even kill Joker. So instead, Duel playing the classic hold W and right click to go for the point.
That does not look good for Team NOS, because Vips is now back, and guess what? He has his Transcendence. He says, I mean, he realizes that the tanks just move back and point, push them back, and now he has his Transcendence. So at this little choke point, I think the Reinhardt actually has a very easy time against a dive comp that it looks like and NOS is running. So I mean, we see the hook. Laszlo has to break out the mech. No choice there.
Oh, here Duel is actually all alone. Blur Shatter does connect, but he doesn't have much follow-up. Laszlo does get the mech, but that's pretty much it. Here's the charge. Goes to protect Script One instead. So Duel so far from the action. This is an opening NOS actually needs. Dave has been taken down, though Sad Barrier was actually cancelled out because the dive from Joker. Valkyrie popped by Godsmite as well. The payload is almost there. McCreep with the raid form, not using Death Blossom instead. Looks like NOS doesn't want to get staggered, wants to get back, but looks like the stagger is there.
You have to play the Reinhardt. I think Reinhardt worked for Team NOS, and I don't understand this switch to the Winston, especially you have, and plus McCreep is playing a Reaper. I mean, a Winston and a Reaper definitely doesn't work as well as a Reinhardt and a Reaper. It worked well. Why switch now?
Yeah, and especially, look, they have a Junkrat and a McCree for NGV side. Winston is actually pretty weak against those heroes in a sense, because you want to use the Winston for mobile dive,
right? That's a straight up counter dive.
Yeah. You're just gonna focus down, the barrier is really weak, and you can even just laugh at his face, just get healed up, even pop the Riptire in front of the Winston for a bit. Now Joker is trying to go in. Oh, Viller does have the Dragon Blade, but in the meantime, there is the Whole Hog and the Transcendence to counter this out. Viller ends up wasting it. Stuck in the backline. Script One now punishes his positioning with the fireworks here onto the Genji.
So we do see something very familiar. We just see Joker die again and again. He's the first one to die almost every single fight, because when you are Winston and you jump into Roadhog, McCree and Junkrat, you can't do anything but die. That's literally the only thing you can do. So a swap coming out on the side of Joker, back to his signature Reinhardt. A battle decision now, but why do it? I mean, there's only 1 minute left. I don't know whether you actually have the time to build a shatter and stuff.
Maybe, I actually disagree a bit, because maybe Joker can actually get the Earth Shatter in a minute, because Reinhardt has a really fast charge when you swing your hammer to get those kills, and he actually knows that the Winston was a suboptimal pick compared to the Reinhardt. So this is actually very good here from NOS, learning from their mistakes before it's too late. Like 1 minute is still enough time for a clash or two. So the Reinhardt still has potential over the Winston getting Primal Rage.
That was a little bit too harsh. It's definitely a good switch coming out from Joker. And of course the Coalescence, this is exactly what they're known for. Coalescence, speed boost, and Reinhardt is pushing in to punish the enemy. Reinhardt Deuce goes down, and of course...
K-Cod actually gets the shutdown onto 2. Viller Swift Strike up, and the Deadeye was there, and the Death Blossom was cancelled out by a flashbang as well. K-Cod, superstar of NGV right now, but there's nothing much to say. Here, we do see Overload not being beaten back, and yes, NGV will take this.
This is kind of like a Beetle Sweet thing that I think and Team North should feel, right? Because they did play the correct comp. They actually swapped in the last 1 minute. What could have happened if they swapped at 3 minutes? Then they would have so many opportunities to make that kind of play. Speed boost into Coalescence and then punish the enemy, right? They could have done it. They could have done it more than once, right? They only did it once, and it was already the results was already looking so good. Imagine if they do it like 3-4 times. One of those times would have enabled them to push into the third point. So I can't help but feel a little bit bittersweet at this. They know it would have worked if they had switched sooner.
I think what happened was, I remembered my match correctly. The second checkpoint was almost there, but they got beaten back. No, never mind. They already had the Winston by then. But yeah, they did stick to the Winston way too long. John, you are absolutely correct. Even though they had the desperation Reinhardt in the end, it was a little too late. Even though, there was time, but if you only have one opportunity, that's a less % chance of success over having more opportunities, 3 or more opportunities for that Earth Shatter.
Exactly, but I do like. I mean, it's just awesome that it actually worked out because their play is to punish the main tank, right? They don't want to go to the backline. They just want to speed boost Coalescence and then punish the Reinhardt. And that worked. Deuce was the first one to die. It just so happened that it wasn't enough because the enemy responded in kind with their DPS out, and of course the High Noon and the combination of the other ultimates just cleaned up the engage.
Yeah, so I just want to give a quick mention to K-Cod and Vips, of course. K-Cod and Vips have been really, really good with their shots, with their final blows. I'm not pegging on Script 1, but Vips has actually had a very good Zenyatta game. But now we do... Oh, look at this! It's the 3 tank, 3 support.
Nice. But there is a little bit of a difference here. K-Cod is going to be going for Zen instead of a Moira because normally you play a Moira because you lack the healing, right? So even if you play Lucio, you don't play a Moira, you kind of lack that much of healing because Zen doesn't heal much at all. But maybe they're doing this for more damage?
Yeah, I think the Zen is there because K-Cod has been pretty much on fire with his shots. So putting the Zen here, the Zen is pretty much the most DPS hero you get as a support. And now we do see Joker with a charge! Oh man! I'll bring him to the back.
I gotta say, Joker's been on point with those charge, and Macris cleaning up with the double kick. Crypty and Treaty goes down to his strike resets, and Deeps goes down as well to Thyla.
Yeah, so Nos now is actually able to keep the point alive. Will we see some switches, or are they going to keep this on? The Bridget is halfway to the rally, so that might work out. They want to get that rally for the Zenyatta to keep alive. So what are you saying?
I don't know, man. I think that Mora would be a lot stronger here because I think the tanks will punish really, really fast when Joker is just playing so aggressively with his Joker signature stuff. So I think Mora would have helped out a ton in that case.
Maybe, but Overload is ready with the Symbiotic Grenade, might be able to counter that. It's actually tit for tat, honestly. But in the meantime, McCreep is just delaying all our debates here with the Dragon Blade, killing everyone.
Exactly, Joker doing his signature style. We see it a lot in the parks in India, and we see it too in Community Cup XP Overwatch. That's exactly what you should do. That's exactly how you play Ryan. So we're gonna take a look at a replay of that sweet 3-4-man shadow. Yeah, this is amazing.
Let's check that out, guys. McCreep there also with the Dragon Blade. But NGV did capture 8-6. So Nos might want to get back onto the point a lot faster now. 62.6. Almost using a second tick. No! We do see a rally coming out from Bip's armor is being given to everyone. Look how tanky K-Cod actually is. Willer can do so little damage with attack by such Transcendence has been popped here by K-Cod, but my grenade was used to counter this out. Lasso gets the mech. There is an Earth Shatter and NGV just takes it handily.
That's a pretty good defense though by Team North, and they will have 4 minutes 30 seconds to push the point. But I gotta say that I don't think Team North would feel that disappointed with that kind of defense because that's pretty good. So they will have a second chance. They can hold. They'll probably have maybe 2 fights before they have to stall the point.
Yeah, but NG can easily
push up the
steamroll
score
here, honestly. Can easily snowball Rad because look at them. Look how armored up they are. Look at Script 1 in K-Cod. 350 HP for the Zenyatta, 550 for the Zarya. That win condition I was talking about with the rally is working in favor of NGV right now. Pips now is just on the point with K-Cot. So NGV wants to play payload. That extra healing will do more to sustain them, especially since they have the Zenyatta instead of the Moira. Earth Shatter popped out, but Scripon ready with the Graviton Surge. The Soundbarrier from Godsmite is there to protect everyone except to Coalescence. Oh, Graviton on to 4. NGV doing it. Getting the kills they need. Dave now is the next target. Scripon should get Pochi for this. Getting all the kills as well. Last is now popped up. And boom goes the Dynamite. NGV. Wow. Whew. Super impressive play there from NGV. We should check out the replay. Scripon, really good aim right there. Good tracking with the Zarya laser gun.
Look at the amount of shield that Scripty has with that over shield and that blue shield. He has so much. Anyway, Nano boosted out by Mac Creep is going to make sure he dies because Scripty has 100 charge and he doesn't care whether you're nano boosted or non-nano boosted.
Your deflect is nothing to the Russian laser right here. Scripon just going ham, and NGV takes the
when
series.
When Zaya has 100 energy and he points that laser at you, it's inevitable that you die.
Dude, 100 energy, 550 HP, and some of that is armor. You're almost unstoppable.
Right, the POTG as Zaya. So which is it gonna be? It's gonna be the Graph, and you can see he's at 70 NG right now.
Yeah,
everyone dies to right click, left click, right click. Who cares as long as you kill someone?
Dude, look at that. The kill feed is all him. Of course, he deserves to watch you there.
Insane.
And yeah, so NGV will take the series 2-0 after a very sudden Hanamura pick for the maps, and then a Kingsor, of course, as is standard. So wow, we're actually been going through our series pretty fast. It's been 2-0s all day. Even though most of them have been competitive, 2-0 is still the score.
I think one of the main things is when you lose the first match, you kind of get psychologically cowed and you might not play 100% for the second match. You feel happy if you're winning, and of course you feel a bit disappointed if you're losing, and I think that factors in why some of the matches is 2-0 even though it should be more of like a 2-1 if you look at the strengths of both teams.
Yeah, there are so many matches so close but yet so far for the teams going to the lower bracket, but it's okay. We'll see them once again. They're not out of the tournament like Team NOS is not out of the tournament. We'll see them in the lower bracket in the later days. This is a really long Community Cup, honestly, and we are gonna go into ads real quick. Probably have our last series coming really soon, so stay tuned here.